So I suppose we'll give it a few minutes anyway, has there?
Yeah, people are coming in there now.
Okay.
This is generally always a big enough one, so we'll make sure everyone gets in before we start.
Yeah, perfect. I think the recording goes out to people afterwards anyway, just in case anyone misses the start
Yeah.
or wants to recap on anything.
Right. Can you see my screen there, Ciara?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Right, so we'll get stuck in. Before we start, like Ciara said, just reminding you all that this is recorded and it will be sent out with our monthly newsletter. And if you did sign up to watch this, you'll definitely get an email of the recording. So it's always good just to mention that in case you have to pop off. So this month's webinar, New Year, of course, everyone has either just about started calving or will be starting very soon. So, of course, this one is on calf registrations made easy with Herdwatch. Myself, my name is Katie Shanahan, and I am joined this evening by Ciara Long. So, Ciara is going to do the demo later on, and if you have any questions, feel free to start putting them into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screens. So tonight, over hopefully no more than 30 minutes, we're going to talk about the herd sync. So that's very important. Individual and bulk calf registration, uploading your tag lists, how Herdwatch fits into your breeding cycle management, using the calving book, and then we will have a few Q&As. The Q&As will happen throughout the demo. So if you have a question on something that Ciara has shown you, make sure you pop in your question. And we have Emma in the background as usual to answer all your questions. So if you have something, she will hopefully get to it tonight. And if she doesn't get to it tonight, because this is a very large webinar, if she doesn't get to it tonight, it will be sent to the team in the morning. So they will get back to you. So the Herdwatch story, since Herdwatch launched in 2014, we've been helping over 20,000 members with their herd performance and farm compliance. So there's over 4 million cattle in the app, over 1.7 million sheep in the app, and over 800,000 acres mapped in the Herdwatch app. So there's four solutions in one platform for farmers looking to optimize their herd, flock, and pasture management. Cattle by Herdwatch, Dairy by Herdwatch, Sheep by Herdwatch helps farmers achieve herd goals through data-backed management decisions. Pasture by Herdwatch assists farmers with grazing and pasture management. So, what is new in the last 12 months? So, there has always been a lot of new features coming out over the last year. I suppose some of the most important ones we've had Crush Side, which allows you to do multiple different tasks at the one time. Herdy, obviously, our AI feature where you can ask any questions relating to your herd or further afield. The web app version, which you can log on your PC. The Mart and Factory link, turbo mode, nitrates calculator, scanning, tagging, lambing insights, BCS, flock register and reports, and finally grazing management and PBI integration. So there's always a lot there, and they're always working in the background to try and bring out new features in the app just to make things a little bit easier for you all. So I'm now going to hand over to Ciara Long, who's a product manager, and she is going to go through the demo in relation to calf registration and a few of the other basic things within the app. And if you have any questions, do start popping them into the Q&A box, and either Emma will answer them in the background or Ciara will also be there to show you in real life what it looks like. So thanks very much, Ciara.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Katie. Just want to make sure you can see my screen there at the moment.
Yeah, perfect. Work with.
Yeah, brilliant. So look, thanks very much everyone for joining and taking the time. No doubt everyone's kind of gearing up or already stuck into the middle of calving. Hopefully today it'll be a mix of some of what you know, rehashing on some of the things to get you back into the habit for calf registrations and also for any new customers out there, just to see what is available and some kind of tips and tricks to help you through this calving season. So before we kind of get started on any of the calf registration queries or anything just yet, The first thing on the list, so I don't forget, was the sync with the department. So when you open your app each day, your app will automatically do a sync with the department. So your app should be up to date. If anything changes throughout the day and it hasn't been reflected just yet, and you want to push a manual sync, we can do that. And I'll just show you quickly how to do it before we get started. So in your My Herd, when you come in, and then I'm just going to skip that, the three dots up the right hand corner, and it will say sync with the department. So once you press that, it will ask you to put in your PIN, and then that will take maybe a minute or two, depending on the size of your herd, and your herd will be up to date then after what's been done with the department that day. But otherwise, you don't need to do that. It happens automatically each day when you open the app. It's just in case you wanted to do anything by chance. So yeah, okay, I'll get started then on calf registration. Just to as an FYI to everyone, so the blue background means that you're on the dairy plan. So whether or not you're on the dairy or on the suckler, which you can see in a green kind of a background, it will be the same stuff that I'll be covering. So it doesn't matter which farm type you are. And likewise, if you're based in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, or Wales, we will also be covering much the same stuff. There's very little difference between markets as well. But if there is anything different, I will just flag it in advance to you. So I'm just going to go through my own herd at the moment. So we've just started calving, and I'll go through some of the things that are kind of helpful to us there at the moment, and hopefully will be helpful to yourselves. So one of the main things I kind of check each day is my watch board. So I get a notification each morning, so I can go in there, and at the moment it will say all these different jobs. But the one I kind of am looking at are the cows near calving. So I come in here and it's set by default to cows that are due to calf within the next 7 days. And again, depending on your preference, you could go to the three dots and your watchboard settings, and you can extend that or reduce that if you have a very big list and you want to make sure you're checking them. So I find that very handy. And then as well as that, if you wanted to find the ones that are near calving, you can go once you're on the home screen. Sorry, my internet's a little slow. So if I go into breeding, and this is everything that you will kind of need for breeding management. So my due to calf list is an extension then of what I was just kind of looking at. And this is the full list of animals that will calf over this calving season. So I kind of have this kind of in front of me when I'm going checking the cows, checking the pins to see what should be due or what's, getting very, very close, especially any of the Friesians, they're shorter gestation. I just kind of keep an eye on kind of what's upcoming, and I find this very, very handy. So I can see what cow and what sire that they're in CAFTA. So we have limousines and Friesians here, and our limousines typically could carry an extra 10 days. So, I kind of know that cow isn't that close to calving just at the moment. So I'll see the due date and how many days away. So this is very handy. And then I can select for more information on that cow and her breeding events from last year. So that's that on the due to calf list. And likewise, while I'm in the breeding module, I will just show you the calf list. So as soon as you register or add any calves, they'll get added in here. So I can see that this cow calved yesterday, and likewise this 1138 she calved 4 days ago. So as you progress through your calving season, you'll be able to keep an eye on everything that's in here. Okay, perfect. So the next thing I want to go through is calf registration itself. So there's a quick action here that you can go into it straight away at the bottom of the screen, or if you go into your plus, your orange plus, you can select it and add calf. So I'll just go in here there at the moment. And now we're straight into adding a calf. And you can see here on the bottom, it says register saved calves too. So at the moment, I'm just going to add a new calf for the purpose of the demonstration, go through a few bits with you, and then I will actually do a batch calf registration just at the end to show you what kind of that process looks like, just in case you haven't done one already. So there's a cow that has calf today on the farm, and I'm just going to add that calf at the moment. So the gender is female. And now I come into the next step of adding those details for the calf. So it will show me the last tag number that I've used, which is 1770. At the moment, that calf isn't tagged, so I'm going to skip the tag section for now, and I'll come back to it there on the next calf. So the date of birth was today, so I don't need to change it. If I did, I can select the calendar and change the date. Likewise, with calving difficulty, she calved herself, so I will say that she had a normal calving. If I wanted to add an image, you can do that. And a lot of people have different ways of adding their calves, registering their calves and their system on farm, and how they manage it. For us, we probably tag our calves probably once a week. So what that looks like for me is that I will add an image of the calf itself. I'll spray paint a little mark on the calf. That way, when I am registering that calf and actually tagging them, I'll know exactly what calf belongs to each cow. So I can go back and see the calf with a little, square kind of a spray paint or whatever mark I've put on them matches such a cow, and I just make sure that all my records are intact. But again, everyone has their own way of doing things, and it's just our way of managing without adding the tag number straight away to the calf, just in case anything happens to change. So I will select the dam now. So the cow was 1102, so she's here second in the list, so I don't need to search for her. If the cow happened to have moved out of the herd in the last few days, you can select a dam that has since moved out since the date of birth of that calf. So I'm just going to select 1102 here. She's 2 days away from calving. And you can see automatically that that stock or the AI sire has followed her through. So she is a cow that we would have AI'd. That was her only serve. So that will populate based on the last serve or from the last breeding event. So if you have pregnancy scanned and added the sire from there, is what it will appear. If the cow is calving ahead of time or after the last serve, you can adjust that. And I'll show you kind of a quick way how you can copy over information from a serve record and make sure that the correct sire information does copy over as well. So for this case, she was only AI'd once, so I know that that is the correct sire. So if for any reason I did want to change the sire, I can select this box here, and then this pops up a message with all of my active sires. So that contains a list of any AI sires I've used, stock bulls, and yeah, any sires that have been used on a calf within the last 2 years or a breeding event. If for any reason the bull or the sire has moved out, I can select an animal from there. If it was an old AI bull I've used a long time ago and I've used it again, I can select it in here. And if it's another male in herd that I haven't happened to select or mark as a stock bull, I can also add it from here. If the sire that you're looking for is not in any of those lists, a quick option then is the add a sire option. So I'll select that. And then we have a type. So if it's an AI bull, we can go in here and it will say AI code. So you'd put, if it's Frisian, it'll be FR and the 4 digits, and then the breed would be FR for Frisian. So that's an option. You can hit save, then that will get added to your dam or your calf right there. Another option would be stock bull moved out. And again, we just covered that. It's also a tab present. And then this third option is for a stock bull that was never in your herd. So if you have purchased a heifer or a cow that was in calf when you purchased them, you would select this option and you could just enter in the full tag number and what breed it is and hit save. And that will add that sire to that calf for you. So I'm just going to hit cancel on that, and I'm just going to go back as well. So at the minute, 5530 is the sire I want. There's some optional information here if you're in a scheme in Ireland. And then if it's an embryo transfer, you can put in the genetic dam as well as the breed. So that's all the information that I kind of want to add at the moment, because at the moment I'm not going to register that calf. I'm just going to save it. So once I hit save, it's going to prompt me that the calf tag is not 15 digits long. So if you remember, I haven't actually added a calf tag number. So that's fine for now because I just want to add it to the system and make sure that I have a calf recorded against that cow. Again, if you wanted to record straight away, you could press fix it and add a tag number. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to hit continue. And I'm just going to ask me here, would I like to add another calf? And for the moment, I don't. So I'm going to say I'm finished. So now we can see this calf here. It has no tag on it, but all the information is here. If I want to register that calf now, I'll be prompted to add the tag number and then I can submit. So I'm just going to go home and I'm just going to show you quickly where you can find that calf now that we've added it. So within compliance, we can go in and the first option is calves to register. So once you select that, now we have 3 calves that are here. So this bottom option here is the one I've just added. And you can see this top one, 4 days old, I have a tag number. So if I wanted to register individually, you can do that. You can come into the calf, you can hit register now, and you can add your tag number, and that will register your calf individually. For the purpose of this, I am going to add some more information to this second calf, and I'm going to do a batch calf registration and show you kind of how simple it is to do multiple calf registrations all at once. Normally, we'd wait till the weekend, so we could have up to 10 calves that we would need to register at once. And I just kind of run through this list kind of briefly, and I have it kind of in my head how many Frisians we have that I'm just about to register, and I make sure that the male and female count kind of matches up as well. And I also kind of double check against my BVD samples to make sure that I actually have used all those tags that I'm just about to send away. Okay, so I'm just going to go into this second animal here, and instead of the register calf now, I'm just going to go into the three dots at the top right-hand corner, and I'm going to select edit. So I've already added my information, the date of birth, it was a normal calving, and I have selected the cow and the stock bull. So all for me now that I have to do is select the next tag number. So if you're based in Ireland, Northern Ireland or Scotland, this select next tag number will be linked to your department, and it will have a full list of tags that are available for you to select. If you're based in England and in Wales, this option is available, but unfortunately we don't get that information directly from the department. So if you would like to avail of having your list of tags pre-populated, just send us an Excel of the tag numbers to info@herdwatch.com. So you can obtain a list of your tag numbers from your tag provider. They'll normally have a bucket file, and they'll be able to send it straight to you. So you shouldn't have to collate this or add it manually yourself. You should be able to get it straight from your tag provider, send it to us, and we'll get that uploaded for you. So the next time you come in here and you select that next tag number option, your full list will be here. And once you use a tag, it will no longer be available for selection. So look, it's something for us that's very, very handy on farm, because we do go in order of the tag number. So for the sake of this calf here, the next one is 1771. So I'm going to select that. So I'll just double check when I have the calf in front of us and everything. The last tag is 70, this one is 71. And if you don't want to do that as well, you can press scan tag. That will open up the camera on your phone, and you can scan the barcode on the tag if you want to as well. So now I'm happy with this. I'm going to hit save, and it's going to ask me if I want to register the calf now. And I'm going to say no at the moment because I want to do a batch registration. So I'm going to say not now. And there we go, that calf is saved. And again, I can do that manually then if I want, or individually, but I'm going to hit back. So this is my calves to register list. So I have 3 calves to register. And as you remember, I haven't added a tag number to this one that I just added. So I'm going to do a batch register task, and that's going to select all the calves that are eligible for registration. And the one thing I just want to mention before I do that here, if your calf is approaching 20 days old and it hasn't been registered yet, we will mark that in red just to prompt you that it's getting old and that you need to register it before it's a late penalty, 26 or 27 days of age. So as soon as you hit 20 days and you see a red mark, that means that the calf is approaching the age that it needs to be registered by. We will also prompt you in a list calves to register greater than 20 days old in the watchboard. So I'll show you what that looks like there in a moment as well. So I'm just going to batch register here. So it's just telling me what I can do. So you can batch register calves in one go, select the calves you want to register, and tap send. So then when all calf registrations have been processed, we will notify you on the app through an email. So I'll just say, okay. So these are my 2 calves that I have tags added for, and I have all the information ready to submit. So I'm going to say select all, and then I'm going to hit send. So are you sure you want to submit 2 calves? And I say yes, and it's going to ask me now for my department PIN. So this PIN would have been given to you in an email. So I'm just going to quickly add it and going to hit continue. Your batch registration has been sent for process, and we'll notify you when the calf registrations have been processed. So I'm going to hit OK. So it's simple as that. So at the moment on that screen, it says registration in process. And just in a few moments, I'll show you the message that comes back from the team. And it's important that we just quickly read that to say if the calf registration was successful or not. If a query has arisen for any reason, we will let you know. and we would advise you to contact your department once you get a message that if it has been queried. Therefore, you can get any kind of discrepancies rectified kind of straight away and you can get on with the rest of your calves. So I'll show you that there shortly once that pops in. And once the registration is complete, I can show you then as well what that looks like. So I'll just go back. So my calves to register list will only contain one calf there at the moment. Well, this one here, once I go back and sync. So that's the main thing that you can do. So the batch registration is very handy. There's no limit on how many calves you can register at once, and you will know straight away if anything has come back from the department. And a great thing about doing the batch registration is not only that you get to send it all in one go, but also when you send them all in one go, you probably receive them in the one post package. So it's very handy so that you can check off any passports that come back in. So that's kind of what I'll go through just there at the moment. And yeah, I suppose if there is any questions coming in, Katie, just jump across. And if not, I will keep going.
Just a
Um,
very kind of at the start
okay.
one, people trying to sort out their breeding and getting rid of last year's cows. Could you just show the
Yeah.
breeding settings and how you would change those to get rid of, say last year's
Yeah.
cows on
Okay,
the.
perfect. Sorry, I skipped ahead of that. So at the top left-hand corner of your screen, there's three white lines. So we're going to select that and we're going to come down as far as settings. And once we come in here, we'll be greeted with three options and we're going to go into breeding settings. So here I have, we've started calving in the last couple of days. So I've just set it to the start of the month and to the breeding season, we start in the last week of April of last year. So that just means that all of my due to calf list, my calf list, my calving book, they'll all just contain records from this year. So I can still look back on my serves or my pregnancy scans from last year that are still relevant to this calving season, but just this calving season will just be what's due now, just in case a cow has carried over or one hasn't calved or one is idle. They'll kind of be excluded from your list. It'll only be just the ones that are due to calf in this season. Um, so that's roughly what it is. I suppose one thing I'll run through briefly then as a summary for all of your calf information, we have a feature called your calving book. So I'll go quickly through that, just show you some kind of differences with it. So within management module, we'll go in here and it's the very last option called the calving book. So at the moment, I have three cows calved, I have 72 left to calf, and then I haven't just ran a sync yet, so I've only one calf to register. Three calves, two female, one male, and then the age. So you can drill into any of these. So if you want to drill into your cow's calf, you can come in here and it will give me the lactation, last calving date, how many serves they've had, when was the last serve, expected calving date, and so on and so forth. So that's just on the cows, but it's particularly useful for your calf management. So if you did want to just filter by male or females, but for this case, I'll just go into all calves. And just to let you know, it's all calves that are currently in your herd. So this is just management of calves that are now in your herd. So if you've sold animals or if you've sold cows that have since calved, it's only going to be reflective of the ones that are currently still in your herd. There will be changes coming that will actually account for your total as well as now the ones that are in herd, just in case the numbers are slightly off depending on your number of cows that are due to calf. So I'll just drill into the all calves here. And again, so we've all Frisian so far, and the last one doesn't have a tag, but we'll move along. If I had a pedigree name or number, registered, no, not just yet. If the calf reg message, for whatever reason, it should come back that they were successful. But if it's not, it will be here saying that there was a query on the animal. So the date received by department, and then here I can kind of just do a tick box if it was received the passport in the post or not and the BVD sample when it comes back in Ireland. So we'll get that once it's registered as well from the department. I just want to mention quickly, so this is kind of only applicable to Ireland, but if you're in the NGP, the National Genotyping Programme in Ireland, this will be kind of helpful to you. So at the moment where you're in that programme, you register your calves straight away. You send away your DNA sample and your BVD sample to the respective labs. the department will run the parentage analysis. Well, I suppose the department will handle it. If there is any parentage differences, the department will send us the updated parentage for your calf straight away, and we will update them. So this column here will just let me know, or anyone looking at theirs, if it's a genotype registration or not. So at the moment, we're not partaking in the scheme, so it's no. But if you were, it would say yes, and it would say pending registration. So if it's yes or no to pending registration, that just means at the minute you're still awaiting a DNA sample back from the lab. You will not have received a blue passport just yet. So that's one way you can kind of keep on track of your passports. As soon as the department accepts that calf registration, they will get updated to no. They will send us any updates to parentage or the animal data if needs be. We will update it automatically without you having to do anything. And then you will receive your blue card. So if you do sell calves, you will be able to check those calves to make sure that they're eligible for sale, to make sure you have your passport, make sure you have your BVD, and make sure that they're still under that age limit before they need a TB test. So as well as that, like I just said, you'll know what the dam was at the time of registration, the sire at the time of registration, and what they currently are at the moment. So we will flag any differences in parentage if there happens to be any on your farm, if you're part of that genotyping scheme. So if you're not part of that scheme or if you're in a different market, you won't see that. So I know it's not applicable, but I just thought it'd be worth mentioning while I'm here. And likewise, I'm just going to go through, it will say the days that they're in herd, if there was a query on the animal, if I had added a birth rate, or birth weight, sorry. And then these two options here is kind of what I use once we're doing any castration. So we're using the bands. So once I castrate that the male calf, I will just tick that off. And likewise, when they're dehorned, I'll just use that to tick it off because sometimes you kind of get mixed up between all the calves and what you have done and what you haven't done within the different batches. So again, you can tick them off then when they're weaned and then see some other information about them here as well. So that's kind of the main purpose of the calving book. It's for management of your calves that are still in your herd. And there's a lot of information there, but hopefully you'll be able to sift through it and help you out. If you did want to sort on any of these columns, you can just, it will sort highest to lowest or whatever it is. All of these you can be sorting. If it's a column that you want to move across, you can move that as well. You can hold it and then you can move the column across as well. And then if you want to search further and filter, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of information there, but the calving book can be quite handy for that. Just while I'm there, I see it popped up saying the results of that calf registration. So we'll come in here and just see. Hopefully all went well. If it loads, I'll just give it a second. And typical, it's loading. So if there is any, oh yeah, that's there. So look, the batch registration came in, it was accepted, and that was the time that it was. So now the calving book that we were just looking at, that information will be reflected in it. So there was no message back from the department saying there was a query or anything. And now hopefully I'll get those, in the post in the next couple of days. So I'll tick them off once I receive them. It's just my kind of way of kind of managing them and trying to keep everything in one kind of batch. Okay, so I think, yeah, so I might just go through quickly the watchboard maybe, or else before I get into breeding or anything, because I'm just conscious of time. Katie, is there anything that's come in that you want to kind of clarify before I move on?
To be honest, anytime a question comes in or I think of one, you answer it. So
Okay,
we're flying
yeah.
through it. Well done.
Okay, so before I move on to breeding, I've kind of forgotten myself. I might quickly just show how to add a twin, if that's okay, if we have time.
Yeah.
So look, I'll just do this. I don't have any twins on the ground at the moment, so I'll just quickly show you what that might look like on a test environment that we have. So we're going to follow the same process that we did earlier, and in fact, I'm actually going to add the same cow. So I'm going to go straight into a calf registration, and I'm going to select a female calf. So I'm not going to select the next tag number at the moment. I'm just going to say that it was normal calving. I'm going to select the dam then, and I'm going to select 102 again. Okay, so select that cow and the stock bull is there. So I'm just, for the sake of this, I'll just say that that's correct. I don't want to add any other information at the moment, so I'm going to hit save. Sorry. The tag number is not 15 digits. That's fine. I just want to add the calf. And would you like to create another calf? And I'm going to say yes. So for this, I'm going to say it's a male. And I'm going to come down again to my calving difficulty if she needed to be handled or anything. And the dam, I'm going to put the exact same dam again. And I'm going to hit save. So again, it's prompting me about the tag, which is fine because I haven't added it. And then the second message that is there, it says the selected dam already has a calf, the same date of birth. And if you selected the correct dam and this is a twin, select continue, otherwise select fix it. So it's not too late to back out. You're not going to do anything wrong. We're not registering the calf there at the moment. So if it was just a mistake, you can go back to fix it, change your dam, update the SIRE details, make sure everything's okay and save. And for this case, it is a twin that I wanted to add, so I'm going to hit continue. So that calf is going to get added. And now this time I'm going to say, no, I'm finished. So that's the calf that I've just added, and we can ignore the tag that's on it. I'm just going to select the dam and I'm just going to say progeny, and we have the two here, those 22.6 that were born today. So the beauty of kind of this is that you're able to add your calf and then you can register it when you have time. For me, I add the calf as soon as, it hits the ground. I mark it so I know exactly what cow it's out of. And then when we tag, I know exactly what cow came from which calf. And then I can just double check all my samples match to the amount of calves that I'm registering. I can just double check the count of females versus males, make sure the breeds kind of look all right, and then hit send in that batch registration. It's just a little bit of sanity checking that you don't have to do there and then when you're dealing with taggers and samples and calves and cows, and you just want to be able to do it after the fact. So it's really, really handy just to add your calf. Your cow will get her correct calving date, and then when you have your time and you want to be sure that everything's perfect before sending it away, you can do that. And just if you're in the NGP program, I think time is kind of of the essence to get your sample back and your blue card back. So if you are part of that program in Ireland, just send away or register your calf kind of straight away and get your sample sent away kind of promptly. The sooner they're away, the sooner the result will be back. And if you do happen to sell as calves, that you will be able to get them offered as soon as you're able to then. So yeah, that's kind of mainly all of the calf registrations. I suppose I've run through the sires and adding sires. If no sire kind of pops up, you can add it manually. But the beauty of this is that the sire is copied over from your last breeding event. So either your last serve or your pregnancy scan of that cow. And yeah, I suppose we've kind of briefly covered if you're doing an embryo transfer or anything, you go through the same process and you just put in the genetic dam. And that's a free text field. So you put the full tag number of the dam just in case that dam happens to be from another herd. So that's kind of mainly it on the breeding list. Once you get into your breeding season, come back here. So once you get into your breeding season, you'll see any of the other information here. Again, your breeding performance will show. So I've no cows served or anything just yet, but it will give all that information once I get into it. But another thing I kind of will be useful once you start calving down. So again, I'm only after starting, so bear with us, but I'm just going into this no heat or serve since calving. And once I come in here, the list is empty. So this list works off of some watchboard settings, which I'll show you again. So the non-served cows, these are cows that have calved and have no serve against them just yet, no heat or serve. So these are less than 42 days calved. And again, you can adjust this setting if you need to. So it's kind of defaulted to 2 cycles. So for us, we kind of like to give the cows at least 1 cycle before we breed them. So we're kind of really looking at this when we're into April, and we're kind of keeping an eye on cows that have no heat or serve record from. So you can do a pre-breeding scan to make sure that they're cycling and record all that information. But it's really, really helpful if a cow has gone over 42 days since she has calved and you have no record of any heat or serve for her. This will kind of be in a list and it's kind of more tailored, so you can kind of give them the more attention and get them checked out by a vet if needs be, if you think that they're not cycling for any reason. So yeah, once you start calving, that information will automatically stop populating in here. Yeah, and again, like I said, you can do a pregnancy scan or a pre-breeding scan just to make sure if you're getting your vet to check out any cows and they're saying maybe recheck them or if they're not cycling or if they have any fertility issues, you can actually record that in the app. And again, that will all be in your no heats or serves, and you'll be able to get a tailored list of any animals that you really need to keep an eye on then as well. Um, yeah, so that's kind of it. I just wonder if I go back to my test environment here, I just might show you here. This is actually calves to register list that I was kind of saying earlier that it gets marked in red and it'll prompt you as a reminder each day that there is calves that you need to get registered. So as soon as you hit the 20 days, now these are obviously older animals, it's a test environment, they'll get marked in red and not to be frightened or anything, but that's just prompting you that they're
Right.
approaching the time limit to get them registered. So um, that's that. And then just in this as well, remember I've mentioned the cows near calving. And then another one, it's actually not in this list just yet. The watchboard kind of works based on information that's live at the minute that I need to kind of look at today. But once my cows kind of get near to that breeding stage, and if I have serves recorded for them, there's a watch for repeat list, and it's very, very handy. So again, it's a setting that we can adjust, and I'll show you there in a second. And I kind of have it set to 19 days. So 19 days after I've either we've AI'd or the cow has gone to the stock bull, it will come up here in a reminder to watch for repeat. That just means for us really on the farm, if the animal's in there and I see the cow bulling and I see her in that list, I know that she's already bred. And then I can just quickly check, was she bred to AI? And if she was, then I'll contact the correct AI man or whatever, the correct company that has dealt with us for that cow. And I'll be able to get them back then to watch or to do the repeat serve. So the watchboard is very, very handy. It's tailored to tasks that you need to do today. So if it's watch for repeat, if it's cows to calf, or it's calves to register, or animals withdrawal or whatever, that would populate and it's very, very handy. So I have that push notification every morning. But more often or not, you're kind of checking it before the notification comes in. So it's at this time of the year, I find it really, really handy between calving and breeding, just to keep on top of cows, as any kind of health issues kind of arise.
Right.
Um,
And it's just worth to note there, you've touched on a few breeding things, but we'll probably have an in-depth
yeah,
webinar on breeding. So just keep an eye out for that over the next probably month or two. It won't be too far away.
yeah,
Um, and we'll be talking about that. So that's worth to remember, everybody paying attention to this one tonight. We will be doing another one on just breeding as well.
perfect. Yeah, I think that's mainly it. I suppose if there is any questions, don't be afraid to give us a call or a text or anything after this. Just to my, I suppose I know I've kind of mentioned it again, but if it is something that you're interested in and getting that file into us for your registration or your tag numbers in England or Wales, it's info@herdwatch.com. Or else if you just give us a message, we'll accept the file and we'll get that uploaded for you. So if it is something that you're able to get from your tag provider, it'll be very, very useful. And you'll be able to just select them quickly. The animals get removed from the list, and hopefully it will aid in your calf registrations going forward.
Great.
So yeah, look, I think that's kind of it. I suppose just to kind of summarize, there's kind of three different areas. Breeding is where you kind of go to get all your information. And again, I'm in the wrong section, but your breeding section here. And then if it is anything to do with the calves, you can go into your compliance, your calves to register. And again, it hasn't updated because I just haven't synced, but it will just say that one calf now to register. And then your calving book is within your management. So that's it there at the moment. It's across the kind of three modules, but your breeding is kind of your bread and butter, what's calved, what's due to calf. And then as you approach your breeding season start date, your cows that haven't been cycling or anything. So your serves and everything will be there. And they're there from last year at the moment, but as soon as I update my breeding season start date, that will get updated. So if you're doing all year round calving, you can just put in a date that you want it to be reflected from. So you'll have those dates, I suppose, are more applicable to block calving, but if it's all year round, you can just add in a date that you kind of want to start a clear list from, and it'll tailor for that. So that's there at the moment from last year, and then your all serves. So those 175 records or serves across 81 cows. Um, so yeah, that's mainly it. I suppose if there is any questions, I'm happy to answer them then.
To be honest, Emma's answering a lot of them there in the background.
Okay,
She's
brilliant.
keeping busy, so that's great. I think, to be honest, any question that's coming in, you've either shown it or answered it
Okay.
live in your demo. But if anyone does have any more questions before we finish up, do pop them into that Q&A box. And if Emma doesn't get to them tonight, we will get to them over the next couple of days. We'll send them out to the customer support team there in the various regions, and they'll definitely get to them. You can see there on the screen the help on the bottom right hand corner. If you pop in there, you can literally send a quick message. It's like a text straight to the customer support team, and they'll be able to get back to you. So it's just a handy way to get in contact if you have any issues.
Yeah, so actually, just while I have you there, it's not specifically related to calving or anything, but if you did want to kind of quickly see those calves that we've just kind of registered or anything, obviously you can go to the calf list and then drill into the calf. But I could go into the My Herd list, and then you can go into your smart list. So look, I have it starred, I have it favorited, so these 0 to 6 months. But if it was, animals that you were selling, after a few weeks old, the calves under 42 might be applicable to you. So we don't actually sell any calves. But if I drill in here, it will just give me all the calves under that age and what exact age they are as well. So look, that's quite handy. I kind of just favorite the ones there at the moment. And again, you have smart lists as well, so the calved cows as well as any of your age groups. So I haven't synced my herd, so there's a little discrepancy there. So I'll update to three calved cows just as soon as I exit and I sync it. And when I say sync, I mean just do a backup and sync, not a sync with the department. But
And
yeah,
those
that's
here,
sorry.
they're all automatic, aren't they? People don't have to
Yeah,
make it at all.
again, yeah, the backup and sync, it actually happens every 30 minutes. So again, you don't need to do anything, but it's just the fact that I'm here looking at stuff I've just changed, but that will automatically change for you as well. There's no problem. So yeah, look, that's a very handy list to have. And again, look, the dry cows, every time I add a cow or that has calved, that number will start getting reduced. So the smart lists are very, very handy. And if you wanted to create your own, you can obviously tailor that list to like 30 days old or whatever it is. But yeah, it's very, very handy. I suppose in Ireland, another one is, which we may not know of, is the BVD. So at the moment, I have no BVD result for these three because, as you know, I just added one and just registered the other two, and the samples haven't been sent. So they will show up here that there's no BVD result for them at the moment. We won't get a positive result, but we'll just be able to show the ones that don't have a result just yet. So look, it's just a kind of a quick way to check up on animals before you sell them if you are selling them while they're young calves. So yeah, if there is anything kind of specific, and as I said, this is a dairy kind of a farm type, but it is applicable to suckler, and it's applicable, I suppose, across Ireland and the UK as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think hopefully I don't have,
It was a great demo as always. Thanks very much, Ciara.
yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, I might share my screen there again.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
just to finish up. No. Okay, can you see my screen? You can.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Great. So yeah, as I just said there, the support team are always there. So you can either go onto our Herdwatch website, just herdwatch.com. Our website is your go-to hub for everything Herdwatch. Explore detailed information in our solutions. There's the blogs, case studies, and much more inside there as well. Various case studies as well, and help tutorials if you need any, if you want to have a light bit of reading to help you how to use some of the features in the app. As I just mentioned, the in-app message center. So that's widely used across all regions. It's just one of the easiest ways to get in touch with the support team if you're too busy to ring in. And obviously, our phone lines are there in both Ireland and the UK as well, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So yeah, plenty of ways to find help and get a bit of support as well. Like I said, the help articles there on our website. So if you go into our herdwatch.com website, you'll see more, and there'll be a lot there. Again, you can rewatch these webinars on the website, on YouTube. The help articles are there, which are great. There's various different articles across all elements of the Herdwatch app, so it's a good way to, if you're pretty new to the app, it's a good way to learn about it. So remember, the refer a friend scheme is always there, running in the background, so you can get €100 or pound off your renewal. So if you get one or as many as you want, friends signed up just to create a free Herdwatch account. They don't even have to sign up and pay. Just to create their account and sync up their herd, you will get €100 or pound per person off your next renewal. So it's a handy way to save money. So always remember that that is there. If you want more information on it, just again get in touch. So yeah, there's a few upcoming shows. So Dairy Tech on the 4th of February, and then we'll be going up to Balmoral as always in May. So do keep an eye out for us if you're heading to any of the two of those. We'd love to help you out and answer any questions that you may have. That's it. So guys, we've come to the end of our first webinar of 2026. So like I said, we will have more webinars coming up. Obviously, every single month there's a new one. Breeding will be just around the corner. I know people haven't even started calving yet, but we're always thinking ahead, and we like to make sure that you're prepared in advance. So thank you, Ciara, for your wonderful demo as always, and thank you to Emma there in the background who has been answering our questions. Again, if you need anything, plenty of ways to get in touch. Don't be ever stuck. And yeah, best of luck with the breeding season. I hope it goes well for everybody. And I will catch you all next month. Thanks very much,
Thanks,
guys.
Katie. Thanks very much. See you now.